Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age. Semi-streamlined playthrough, let's play of Factorio Space Age. The episodes are a bit up and down at the moment, as you may or may not know. I'm moving house. We have the keys to the new place, so we're clearing out the old place, telling the landlord that we're leaving. So I can play Factorio, it's not like I haven't got any spare time at all, but it's, you know, trying to record, trying to have the energy to record when sometimes just want to mong out in front of the computer. Anyway, so, I've done some stuff. Can't quite remember everything that I did, but I'm hoping that my save file names will help me out. So anyway, right, if you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe, we'll jump straight into it. Just be aware that this video may be a bit more up and down than they usually are, which is already quite a lot. Okay, this was the state of the base. We'd just plugged in all the sciences. 10,000 a minute of the Nalvesian sciences and basically whatever we can afford of the other sciences. I made myself a little to-do list as well. Where's it gone? Where have they gone? Tags. There we go. We were going to try and experiment with calcite upcycling, because calcite, we were relying on this, which we decided was not very good anymore. Asteroid quality upcycling is fine, but the ice asteroids are always the harder one to find unless you go all the way out to Aquilo, and you know, let's just, we've got so much mining productivity now, we may as well try and get it done by upcycling. What else did we have on the list? Change the shuttles to the lunar class, so the shuttles that were going backwards and forwards... Okay. The shuttles that are going backwards and forwards carrying the sciences and stuff, we can improve these to the lunar class ship, which is much faster, much better, generally. There you go. And, yeah, fix asteroid upcycling ratios. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember everything I did. Oh my god, I think this was like a week ago. A week ago real time. Okay, let's just skip forwards and I'll just... my save files will elucidate what's going on, I'm sure they will. Okay, here we go. So we've got 4 shuttles now, rename them to just science, just so they're in the list a bit more sensibly. The Aquilo one is okay, it can just about make it to Aquilo and back with missiles. I would like to add some gun turrets to the front of these. There's plenty of space, but we'll work that out. But these should be fine. They should be fine. They'll get to and from, and they'll go a lot faster. The old design we were using looks like... have I got any of those left? Rocket part delivery looks like this, and it doesn't really have that many missiles, and it's also not got any protection on the... oh, whoops. It's got some protection on the back, but only from, like, gun turrets. Asteroid farming. Ugh. Ugh, I've forgotten how much I changed this. That might not even be this video, that might have to be the next video. Right, and these don't... these can go fast, but because they don't have that many defences on the front, they're speed limited by a simple pump on a clock thing. Whereas the lunar class, as we know, if we just send it somewhere, send it 400 kilometers per second just to get it up to speed, and then these are still on the clock, but I can afford to have the clock a little bit higher on these, 30 out of 100 instead, and it just gives it a cruising speed of about 300 kilometers a second, which also is about what I decided would be fine to be able to shoot all the asteroids down. Obviously the faster you go, the more defences you need, so you just need to sort of balance that out. But there we go, we're at Gleba basically already, so that's brilliant, that's brilliant. Okay, so that should hopefully help the science come to and from now, well, to now V's a lot quicker. Gleben science is still not very good, so let's just queue up a whole bunch of mining productivity because we're going to try calcite upcycling. Yes, let's do that. Calcite asteroid upcycling, I should say. So the problem with the old design was that the output of the reprocessing thing obviously needs to output an asteroid sometimes. And there are situations whereby this belt becomes full, this can't output an asteroid, and then they all just get full, and then this whole belt becomes full. So I thought I would try and future-proof it. I've done things on some of them. I tried it. I can't remember if I've got one here where, you know, you just put a circuit condition on this belt, read all of this, don't let this through if like anything / everything is more than 100 or whatever. But it's not brilliant. So I thought I'd just try and fully future-proof it in this fashion. Half a belt of asteroids in at any one time, and then common ones back onto the line, onto the outside, because there'll be plenty of space, because there'll only be ever half a belt of asteroids coming in, uncommon to the next stage, and the same thing. I do very, very later down the line decide that actually I hate this way of doing it. That this makes no sense to have... You have a splitter here, right, which takes the legendary ones out, because there is a very, very small but non-zero chance that this spits out a legendary asteroid. So then that asteroid needs to come down here, through here, and go, is it more than common? Yes. Is it more than rare? Yes. Is it legendary? Yes. But I also then have more inserters than I need for this stage, so you don't really need these at all, because all you do is you just leave these on, output everything, right? Just output absolutely everything onto this belt. This belt's never going to become full. And just sort them that way. Probably should do that. Or put a null filter on them. Whoops. I mean, that would work, but obviously that's not really what I want. Just don't want those asteroids hanging over the edge of the belt, you know. So, like, this works in exactly the same way. I think I did it like this to start with because I really wanted to be sure that there were no edge cases where the belt got full up. But I don't see how that can happen this way around either, to be honest with you. You know, just output the asteroid. It's very minor. It's very minor. But this still is not, you know, this works. We know that this works at least, but it doesn't give me the calcite in the numbers that I really wanted. Even though it does work, and I will change the other ones to this as and when I feel it is necessary. Can this even process more asteroids? It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say at the moment, just because of when I turned it off, and obviously there's a backlog on the belt when I turned it off and turned it back on again. And so this is much better. There's also the possibility here of us, like, doubling this up. If we move these cargo bays slightly, we can double this up. Put more asteroid collectors around the edge to just collect everything. I don't see an asteroid collector on the bottom ever picking up an asteroid, but I may be wrong about that. Even these ones on the edge don't seem brilliant. It's really more like here that it's going to be necessary. Sorry, my phone vibrated. So yeah, so let's also then try calcite upcycling on the planet and see what kind of numbers we can get out of that. So I started, and this is about as simple as you could make it. our huge levels of mining productivity mean that we can saturate a stacked green belt with 8 of these. In fact, even 6 would be enough, but you can never be too sure, right? And then I went to put quality modules and everything, and I realised that I was out of quality module Mark IIIs because I'd only ever done like one lot of superconductors. So I'm actually on my way to Fulgora to sort out some superconductor upcycling. I'll probably just do it here. And I also wanted to have a quick look while I was here about, it occurs to me, and this is a huge oversight on my part, it occurs to me that I was complaining about all of this legendary ice from the calcite ship. I've just arrived at Fulgora. The only ingredients you need to make cryogenic science packs are ice and lithium plates. Fluoroketone is of course a liquid, so the quality is irrelevant. So we've got legendary ice, huge amounts of legendary ice. I mean, we could even be upcycling this legendary ice if we really cared. Legendary lithium is legendary holmium plates and 2 fluids, so that's not a problem. So just turn legendary holmium into legendary lithium, and then turn legendary lithium into lithium plates by smelting it. This is actually extremely doable. Extremely doable. So that is on the to-do list. It's just we require a decent source of infinite legendary holmium plates, which is not too bad. This whole thing, I doubled this up by the way, as I said I would. This whole thing uses 829 lithium plates a minute, which, you know, is a lot, but it's not that much. One of these would be 400, what? Yeah, 2 of these, basically. 651 lithium. 651 lithium would be about 50 legendary holmium plates a minute, which is not very much at all. And that's if I wanted this much legendary cryogenic science. And this is already 2,400. So legendary, I mean, yes, that is probably what we want. So we also need to have a look at that, because currently all we're doing is we're just upcycling electromagnetic plants, because we want the electromagnetic plants as well. But if we're upcycling superconductors recycle into 1 holmium plate, maybe. Supercapacitors recycle into themselves, so you can't do that, but supercapacitors recycle into a holmium plate, so maybe? But it seems to make more sense to just do this system. The problem with this system is it's extremely reliant on blue circuits. So we just don't have any blue circuits, and the scrap system is not running because the scrap system doesn't run if there is more than a certain amount of science already here, otherwise this just goes forever and we run out of storage space and whatnot. We could also upcycle the holmium plates themselves, but if we need these electromagnetic plants, we may just do it like this. We may as well just do it like this. So let's have a quick look at that while we're here as a brief tangent. Okay, we're stockpiling some legendary supercapacitors for some reason. They go into portable fusion reactors, so maybe some legendary portable fusion reactors would be nice. Some legendary personal battery Mark IIIs would also be nice. And also we can just sort of use this as a baseline to see how quickly we can get legendary supercapacitors with upcycling, but it's, you know, it's fine, it's fine. The superconductors, I just decided I wasn't going to do anything special with that. I just shipped in some legendary plastic bars, legendary copper plates, and recycled some of the stockpile of electromagnetic plants, because one electromagnetic plant recycles into, yeah, quite a lot of holmium plate, basically. 37 to 38 holmium plate. So upcycling the EM plants is definitely the way to go. We just need a more sustainable way of doing that, and we'll bung that on the to-do list. We'll stick it on the later base. It looks like it's probably going to be another outpost, like a 4th outpost, whose entire job is just scrap everything that's not the ingredients for EM plants. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Because to be fair, nothing here needs processing units anyway. Like, all the processing units are going into this. It's just we just need a lot of them. This makes 32 a second, but even one legendary EM plant uses 18 a second, so maybe we can keep these here together actually, and maybe we'll just make some blue circuits with stuff that we've got here already, you know? Anyway, so Vulcanus, calcite upcycling, here we go, it's a big boy. I thought I would upcycle 4 full belts, and it was mostly fine. The throughput is always the challenge, right, with these kinds of things. It's always a throughput, because the recycler, you could recycle into a box, which then is output by a stack inserter, but that's not as fast sometimes as just outputting directly onto the belt, even though they don't come out stacked most of the time. Put the excess into, but I changed this a whole bunch. Sometimes, like, this, when I felt like I was okay with the design, it was this, and then I realised, well, why don't I just recycle the excess directly, you know? This is huge overkill on this left-hand side. This side is a bit much. Like, this 32, you only get 25% back. You could consolidate these 32 into 8 other recyclers, you know, just have it like in a tree. But it's fine. If it ever gets like clogged up, then at least these chests fill up, and then you sort of get like an injection into the system halfway through. And this will process not quite 4 stacked belts with the quality beacons in now. These are, yeah, 4.32. So this one is still not really doing anything, or very occasionally it will do something whenever all the stars align and a gap shows itself on the belt. And then that calcite is just going all the way down, all the way down. Oh my god, this is such a spaghetti mess, but it's going all the way down, all the way down. It's just being fed. Can't see because of the smoke coming out. It's just going straight onto the belt to get the stone. So this still needs 8.06 legendary calcite to work at full tilt, but this will make way too much stone if it was getting that much calcite. But look, you can see it's fine. It's definitely more than the asteroids are giving us. Like, definitely, look at this. This is actually a decent amount, you know? This is actually pretty good. $50 a minute from the last 10 minutes. $50 a minute is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's fine. It's fine. Why aren't you requesting? Oh, because you need space platform foundations. Okay. I do tweak this a little bit, but this is mostly it. So yeah, this will process quite a lot of raw calcite, and then because we've got mining productivity, what are we on at the moment? 153, and these are legendary miners with only 8% resource drain. If this ever runs out, I'm pretty sure I could leave this running forever. 103 million in the patch, only 8% resource drain, 1,520 productivity. It's never running out. Sorry, I was drinking some tea. Drinking some tea on the recording. This is what we're all here for. This is what everybody's here for. And then once the stone belt gets backed up, the stone belt will become backed up once the bricks are backed up. The bricks are backed up once the purple science is backed up, and then that should be a lot of calcite. Should be. Should be. Alright. Can't for the life of me remember what was next, but it must be something. I made a small but effective change to Aquilo, and this is how I always wanted Aquilo, to be fair, and I just didn't do it at the time. The storage being here for the cryogenic plants, and then getting robots to run them from here to here. This is not a very large distance on any other planet. On Aquilo this is like miles. So I run the belt down to the rocket silos so that the robots only have to shuttle from like these requester chests to the rockets, which is so much better. Then they can just sort of charge quickly while... What was happening is they were picking them up, half of them were making it, half of them weren't making it, like the legendary ones were making it, the regular ones weren't making it. The regular ones were then having to like very slowly come over here and charge because all of these were now full with the legendary ones refilling their batteries after doing their job. It wasn't really working. This is also where I start to realise that maybe I didn't realise / never tested / I'm an idiot that you can launch rockets automatically with this unticked. But only if what the cargo is being requested already by a space platform in orbit. So you could... That's what these were here for. That was me testing this. I thought, oh, maybe I'll have 2 on automatic and 2 on manual, because obviously we also need to send up other things like fusion cells and cryogenic plants and processors and stuff. It's around here where I start to realise why I've seen other players have like shipyards very close to what they're building, right? So we could have another set of rocket silos up here that just puts the purple science in. Of course we'd still have to bring the rocket parts to the ship, so you're kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul in that respect, I suppose. But this has been a very decent change. It's caused the cargo times to go very quickly, and of course, yes, here's the redesigned front of the Lunar class ship with the ammo going around here. Like, I left space for it, like I always thought that maybe I would need that space for some gun turrets, so there we go. And so then this just brings the science 24,000 at a time, so that's, what, 6 sets of this rocket launching happening, which is totally fine. Maybe I would have liked 8 rockets here, don't now have the space. I suppose maybe I could do like this again on this side or something, or maybe even like here. Maybe there and there would have been cool, actually. But then the logistics robots have got to take the rocket parts. So, yeah, and so then the Aquilo's delivery ship still exists, but this is now just for this. I also realised that rather than it just doing shuttle runs around the entire system, what I could do is I could just leave it sat at Aquilo and make a series of interrupts. So only go to Vulcanus when any of the Vulcanus think cargo is 0. So just make an interrupt that is tungsten carbide equals 0 or tungsten plate equals 0, and then it will go to Vulcanus and then it will come back to Aquilo. Like the only thing will just say Aquilo at the top. But that's because I've not really experimented with interrupts that well, but I have now a little bit because it's how our trains refuel like that. So that's cool, right? And then the other big thing on the to-do list is these asteroid farming ships. They work. They do not bring anywhere near enough Promethium back. Anywhere near enough Promethium back for me. Now I've got 2 of them. They're slow. I want to build a really big ship. A silly large ship. Even then it's probably not going to be that large, but large enough. Very large. Modestly large, I would say. So I spent a long time in the lab playing with that one. When I had the time, at least. Oh god! It's fine. So yeah, I'll show you what I came up with. Nice! This is the Michael Hendricks belt weaving. I think he came up with this. I'm not belt weaving, obviously, everyone knows that, but this is directly from his video because I spent a little while trying to play with it and I could not work it out. But it turns out this is actually the maximum. Like, you can't do any more than this. There is no underground that you can then extend this with that makes any sense. Like, you can't put the yellow one down. Anyway, well, I won't. You can watch this video if you really want to know. And this was just me testing it as well. Like, obviously we can do better than this. We can extend this down, and also we can break it up into sections and have more going up and down as well. But obviously this is just me testing it. This is testing maiden voyages and lots and lots of testing, lots and lots of testing. Even this version is not perfect. It's not the perfect version. There is a perfect version of this that I will get to in the next episode, but this for the most part is 90% there. Railguns, lasers, normal guns, rockets. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Defends the ship. It's this. This is what gives me a lot of headache, is working out how to filter the asteroids around to be processed. And again, I use the same lesson I learned in the asteroid upcycling things, to just not put the asteroids back on the main. Like, I'm actually just going to dump any excess asteroids over the side here, because I've also eschewed any sort of like circuit network for throwing the overflow. It just runs past all of the assemblers it needs to run past, and if the assemblers don't pick it up, then I don't need it. So I just chuck it straight away. Like, it uses more power than is necessary. Like, these 2 beacons ended up being completely unnecessary. It uses more power than it needs to, of course. It's crushing lots of asteroids for no reason, because it just crushes an asteroid and then sends it off the edge. But it also is easier in the sense that you don't have to, like with something like this, you know, you have to make sure that it's going over the side. It's still going to go over the side at some point, because as soon as this crushes an asteroid, the circuit condition says, oh, if this belt is too full, you need to get rid of some, because if the iron backs up, then you don't get more copper. If the copper backs up, you don't get more iron. That's the same for the calcite, it's the same for the sulfur, the carbon, you know, like, it kind of always just has to be flowing. And when you're destroying as many asteroids as this, you can afford to just not really be precious with it and just chuck it off the side. So there is another iteration of this. I won't belabor it too much. It's in the blueprint book. What is different? What is different? I'll just show you the version of it in the blueprint book. Yeah, so the version in the blueprint book has the extra belt weaving. It has some beacons here that make railgun ammo faster, because that was ever so slightly behind. But everything else is scaled very well. Yeah, I just throw excess asteroids off the side now. If this outputs an asteroid, I just throw it on the belt and get rid of it as well. And then that stops me having to do all these freaking shenanigans here, because for some reason, I don't know why, it's because, you know, I could rotate these. Because I'm rotating the belt 180 degrees, but I'm not rotating the crushers. This is the inside of this belt, but it's the outside of this belt. So I would have to do something like this to get these asteroids back on the inside, and then this clogs up, and then oh, it was more trouble than it was worth. It was more trouble than it was worth. I do wish I'd put these in a better place, though. I think I do change that ever so slightly. Yeah. Because these only stack on the belt to 1, you need a lot more inserters than this to actually load the cryogenic plants. So I end up getting rid of the... what is it? I get rid of these laser turrets. I put biter filters on these to destroy any biters that come out here, and then I just... I do it like this. I tidy this up, basically. Because I thought maybe I would use this many legendary cargo bays. No, turns out that's a bit overkill. So this works. This works very well. I'm very happy with this. Few circuit conditions for how fast it can travel to various destinations. Again, this is still in testing in this version. The version in the blueprint book is a lot better. The Hendrix belt weave. I've seen some other people bring biter eggs out to the Shattered Planet and make the Prometheum science as part of the trip, which does also make sense, but biter eggs have a spoil time of 30 minutes. I don't trust the ship to get as much cryogenic science as that in 30 minutes. So for now we'll do it like this. Maybe if the ship was even bigger. This can't go much faster than 100 kilometers a second without just getting owned. Like I will show you. There you go. $200. I mean, maybe if I was building explosive rockets instead of normal rockets, maybe if I was using red ammo instead of yellow ammo. $273, and we're taking collision damage, so I'd rather just go a slow, comfortable pace that I know, because I mean it's going to get even worse than this when the railgun ammo runs out. Yep. Yep. It's a disaster. And that's why the ship is limited in its speed. Good God. Oh man, that is cool to look at, but also very upsetting. The large ones just never ever stop, do they? Like the medium ones at least. It's culling the top as my RIP. Oh, here it goes. Here it comes. This is the end. Ah, there it goes. So that's why it goes that speed. I make some small changes to it. We'll cover those in the next episode because this is going to be the end of this episode. The legendary calcite is completely backed up. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Glorious. I can't think of anything else I did. I probably did do a lot, but oh, Fulgora's running out of logistics storage space. Oh yeah, that's right. This happens. I really should have done something with all of this by now. Maybe I'll just upcycle all of it. I'll turn this into holmium plates and then upcycle the whole lot of it. Because these buffer chests got full, and so then all of the extra holmium ore was going into the logistics chests, and then those got full, and then, yeah, it's a disaster. Oh, I didn't give it a thing. You want to see this. I know you want to see this happen. You want to see however many logistics robots we've got here do this. Yes, take that, YouTube compression algorithm. Alright, slightly weird episode, I realise, but I was just playing for myself mostly and making a save every now and then. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff I've forgotten. But that's basically where we are. I've got a whole nother video's worth of content. I did at least make the effort to call the next episode the next save file episode 33, so I do have like a good break point, I suppose, after the Prometheum ship. We know that that works. Blueprint for that final version in the book, link in the description. Pretty sure this is I'm pretty sure this is right, because I mean, spoilers for the next episode, but I build a second one because I'm confident in how it works, so I build two. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment, and if you want to see more broadcasts from Space Age, be sure to subscribe. Can't guarantee when the next episode will be. As I say, I've got the content, but it's just finding the time and the energy to record it. I've had a pretty cool idea for the next playthrough, though, that I want to do on the channel. Or I might just do it as streams. Leave this as the content and have this as streams. There's a mod called Everything on Nowvis that turns Nowvis into almost a bit like alien biomes, you know? So it has a lava area where you can get lava and use that to make some stuff, and it has an ice area to get the ammonia, and you still go to space, you still have space platforms because you can still process asteroids. You still go to the Shad planet, but there are like holmium patches on Nowvis rather than scrap. So the scrap's gone because scrap would be a bit overpowered. But there's calcite patches, there's sulfuric acid geysers. It basically just puts all of the planets onto Nowvis, and I thought that would be quite neat as a sort of experiment, and puts the Gleba enemies in Gleba biomes, puts the demolishers in the lava biomes. We could build an absolutely humongous base there, I feel like, if we're not beholden to the space shuttle logistics. So that's an idea that I want to try for another playthrough, an absolutely humongous mega base on Nowvis, where everything is made on Nowvis, like everything, but just in different biomes. So let me know how you feel about that. I think that could be quite cool. And yeah, maybe I'll just do that as streams, I don't know. Just between you and me, or once the move is done, I might like go a bit harder on the old YouTube and maybe try and make this sort of almost a full part-time job. Maybe we'll see. But that's just a secret between me and you, the hardcore fans here who stayed to the end of the video after the call to action is done. All right, take it easy. Speak to you later. Bye bye.